Game one saw the Sault College Cougars come on top in a thrilling 7-6 overtime victory over the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sault College Cougars hockey. My name is Mike Armitage, along with Griffin Sears, and we'll have play-by-play for today's game. Game two of the two-game homestand between the Sault College Cougars and the visiting University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres. And Griffin, what a thriller it was in game number one.
Well, as we said last night, that game had a little bit of everything. Pucks were flying, bodies were flying, just everything you could hope to dream for when you're watching a hockey game. And we're going to see a nice, thrilling, entertaining brand of hockey tonight.
Jacob Kovacs had a pair for the Cougars. And number 15, Anthony O'Neill, was a thorn in the side of the Sault College Cougars the entire game. Sault College comes into today's game with 18 wins, 18 games played, 11 wins, 7 losses. And Marian, Wisconsin Sabres come into today's game playing 17 times with 12 wins and 4 losses and 1 tie. The Sabres have some firepower. They've scored 104 goals and only given up 46, where the Sault College Cougars have scored 94 times and given up 68 goals in 18 games. Huge hits, gorgeous passing plays, and some terrific saves at both ends were the highlights in game number one. And we'll go down to ice level right now for the playing of both the American and Canadian national anthems. The Sabres will start today's game with the line of number 11, Blake Stafford, number 12, Jackson Sweeney, and number 17, Gavin Galloway up front. On defense, number 3, Logan Graff, and number 4, Connor Cousins. Starting in goal for the Sabres today will be number 50, Tyler MacArthur. And the Sault College Cougars will start today's game with the line of Brock Santamaria, Nick James, and number 72, Jacob Kovacs. On defense, number 2, Brody McLeod, and number 4, Anthony Blonda. Starting in goal today for your Sault College Cougars will be number 32, Trennis Riley. Once again, the Marian University of Wisconsin Sabres in their road darks, Sault College in their home whites. And the referee signals. Here we go, the puck's dropped, and we're underway right off the draw. That's Kovacs, back to McLeod, quickly across to Blonda, back to McLeod. McLeod played a lot of minutes in game number 1, and there he goes again. MacArthur in behind the goal, will play it to Stafford. Rink wide pass, and that was off the boards. That could be all the way down the ice, and it's icing on the University of Wisconsin, Marian, Wisconsin Sabres. 19:39 left to go in the first period. The faceoff will be to the left of the Sabres goal. McLeod with a shot, that's blocked by Cousins. Stafford around McLeod. Galloway going to the goal. Galloway! And he lost control of that puck as he went to the back end. Jameis for Sault College to Santamaria. Santamaria has pucks in his skates. And Jameis digs it out to Kovacs. Trying to beat Cousins wide. Kovacs. And he's pushed off the puck into the corner on a good defensive play by Connor Cousins. Back comes Gavin Galloway. And he just shoots it in. Been out for a bit and has to go for a change. Cousins across to Weber. Quickly up front to Butler. Cut a break. That's Nick. Scores! Easton Nick got in behind the Sault College defenders, and he went from his right to left. And it's 1-0 for the Sabres.
Well, that was just a sick feed. Driving to the net, gets to the other side and puts it in the back of the net. Marian really is playing with a pep in their step, maybe a little chip on their shoulder from the end of last night's game, and we're going to see a little entertaining hockey game here.
Just 69 seconds into the hockey game. The University of Wisconsin Marian Sabres take a 1-0 lead. Lemke in behind his own goal. On the near boards, that picked up by Nick. To O'Neill, back to Nick. O'Neill. And he tried to slide through, but lost control of the puck. He just gave that to Dylan Windsor. Windsor shoots. That was a shot there by Wardell, and that was gloved aside by MacArthur. Wardell back to Sayu. That's knocked down by Butler. Nick to O'Neill. O'Neill stops. O'Neill shoots. Oh, and he didn't get much on that as Sayu got a stick in the way. O'Neill, dangerous just about every shift in last night's game for the Sabres.
Well, O'Neill's starting right where he left off last night, just being a thorn in the side like we've mentioned so many times to the Cougars, and we're going to continue to see him produce offensive chances.
And that's number 2, Brody McLeod. Novello coming through center, looking for the pass. That's Piper Post to McLeod. To Novello. McLeod shoots. Rebound. And it's batted away by the defense of University of Marian, Wisconsin. Piper Post will just dish it back. And that's Cohen Curlo. Slowly coming out of his own zone. Pass to Novello. And Novello just dumps it in. Piper Post will be there before McMahon. Post. Novello and Post looking for a loose puck. It comes out. Curlo shoots. That was blocked. Post doing good work as he kicks it up to Novello. And it squirts out in behind the goal And that's Colin McMahon. Coming out to the left side, coming through center. Fires it around the boards. That hits something off the glass. And it went right to Frenette. And he didn't get much on that one. And a couple of big hits on that shift. We're starting just like we ended. Furious action from end to end so far. Frenette bodied there by number 11, Mitchell Moore, who had a goal last night for the Cougars. Frenette. And here comes number 23, and that's DiBordino. That was offside as Caruso was stuck inside the offensive zone. 16:37 left to go in the first period. University of Marian, Wisconsin 1, and the Sault College Cougars, no score. Sabres winning that draw. That's Logan Graff in behind his own goal to Connor Cousins. Galloway being bothered by Kovacs. And that's Jackson Sweeney trying to get around Starzomski, but couldn't get there. Santa Maria to Jameis. No, that's Kovacs. That's going to be offside. But Santa Maria comes back in to Kovacs. Kovacs for the goal, and that pass was behind Jameis as he was all alone in front of the goal. Back comes Stafford quickly up to Cousins. Cousins in front of the net, and Starzomski lifted the stick of Blake Stafford. Jameis down the left side, stops, cutting to the center. Couldn't get around O'Neill. And Stafford lost it again to Jameis. Mentioned last night, Jameis, tireless worker for the Cougars. Back to the point. That's Seu. Shoots, that one was steered aside by MacArthur. And there's going to be a penalty call by the back official. And it's going to be tripping, and we'll see who's going to get the gate. And number 6, Jace Weber, will go to the box, and the Sault College Cougars will get the first power play chance of today's game.
What we saw in last game, the power play of the Cougars is going to be working effectively. We're going to see if they're going to execute like they did last night, and this could be something big that could happen for the Cougars.
Jameis on the far side. Off the near boards, Kovacs decides to shoot it in behind the goal to Santa Maria. Santa Maria was upended. He gets the puck to Kovacs. Starzomski shoots, and that one was blocked in front of the goal. And Butler fires it down the ice. And Michael Starzomski will come back to get it for the Cougars. Big Michael Starzomski, the two-sport athlete, drops it off for Kovacs. Back to Starzomski over the line. Shoots, and that one went wide of the goal. Cousins couldn't get it out as Cousins had lots of room, but a good second effort. And Cousins and Frenette are coming in on a 2-on-1. Cousins shoots. Oh, and he had a missile shot there, but it was too high over top of the goal. Kovacs coming up through center slowly over the line. And he was checked there by number 37. And that will be offside with 1:01 left to go in the penalty to the Sabres, and 14:35 left to go in the first period.
Well, we've definitely seen that the chippiness has definitely not left the hockey game tonight. We're going to continue to see that because I don't think these two really like each other.
That's kept in by Lemke. Lemke studying things over, going to drop it off for McLeod. McLeod around behind the goal to Windsor. Windsor puts it out in front. Sweeney found on that one as he couldn't clear it. Zambaro to McLeod. Shoot, score! Brody McLeod from about 35 feet out. A power play goal for the Sault College Cougars. And we're all tied up at 1.
Well, that line of the Cougars just does the right things in the offensive zone on the power play. Grinds, works hard, skates hard to the puck, works it back to the point, getting bodies in front, getting traffic. So the goalie MacArthur couldn't see, and they put it in the net from a long shot from the point.
Brody McLeod, the goal scorer for the Cougars, to Ethan Novello. Rink wide, that one over the stick of Curlo. And O'Neill has a break. O'Neill was hooked from behind and they let that go. Holy cow. That was probably more of a penalty than the penalty they called earlier. Novello has the puck for Sault College to Chase Johnson. And that will be offside, as they're saying Johnson didn't quite clear the zone. And Griffin O'Neill was hooked from behind, and that certainly should have been called.
Oh, well, 100%. It definitely did not allow him to make a hockey move to the net, so I'm surprised that was not called as a penalty.
McLeod quickly firing the puck into the Sabre zone. MacArthur pass to Nick. He was checked right away by Post, and Novello rips it around the boards. O'Neill will be there and will shoot it back to Jace Weber. Nick trying to get it by McLeod. 3 Cougars trying to keep the puck in. Novello pushing and shoving with big Easton Nick. And O'Neill ends up with the puck on his stick over the line. Gets around Cohen. But there's a hack there on Post, and Post felt that one, but he's okay. And comes out with the puck. Anthony O'Neill across to Easton Nick. Nick to Underhill. Shoots, and he shot that one way far too high. And that went off the glass and up into the netting. 12:50 left to go in the first period. We're all tied up at 1.
Well, like I said last night, one of the key takeaways of the game for Marian's offensive prowess was their face-off. So we're going to see a draw here. I wonder if they're maybe going to win it and maybe get something sparked from that draw.
Right off the draw for net. And that was stopped by Riley. Right off the draw. That was number 18, Caden Fournette. And Trentus Riley was up to the task. The Sabres had a pile of chances right off the face-off in last night's game and capitalized on 2 of them. So we'll see how they can do today as they set up that exact same play just to the left of the Sault College goal. Starzomski trying to get that off the glass. And Jameis has the puck. Rink wide to Santa Maria. A break. Starzomski, and he fanned on the shot as he was in all by himself. And Michael Starzomski went to shoot the puck and he missed. 12:28 left to go in period number 1. Sault College 1 and University of Marian, Wisconsin 1. Jameis, Santa Maria, Kovacs, Carrillo, and Starzomski up for the Cougars. That was dropped unfairly, and they'll do it again. Galloway and Jameis will joust for the faceoff. Galloway gets the boot, and Stafford will come in to take the draw for the Sabres. Jameis to Kovacs, to Carrillo. Shoots right on, rebound. Kovacs trying to wrap around, and Santa Maria couldn't get there in time. Another shot that went wide of the goal. Jameis has the puck in behind the goal. Out in front of the net, Santa Maria swung and missed. Carrillo into Jameis. Back to Carrillo. Trying to bounce it off the backboards in front of the net, and it didn't quite get there. Santa Maria rubbed out by Stafford. Kovacs coming in looking for the puck. Santa Maria digging it loose. Stafford trying to poke at the puck. And it comes out to Jameis. Quickly back to Carrillo. Carrillo shoots. That one off a stick. Santa Maria, oh, what a save that was by MacArthur. Santa Maria was by himself on the right side of the goal. MacArthur's best save of the game. And the puck comes down inside the Sault College zone. Carrillo hammered by Galloway. And Galloway is known more for his offensive skills. But he's laid a couple of big hits here in the Sioux this weekend. Santa Maria up. That's number 11, Mitchell Moore. To DiBardino. Shoots, and that one just went wide. Caruso almost got there. That puck ended up going off the back of Easton Nick, and Tyler MacArthur will stop play. 11:03 left to go in the first period. We're all tied up at 1.
Well, it's just straight back and forth hockey this period. Both sides having equal amount of chances. Both teams maybe are looking to clean up the transitional periods of play because everyone's just walking through the neutral zone as we speak.
Sault, backhand pass off the boards, and that's Mitchell Moore. Caruso in front of the goal. That was Lemke come flying through the slot. Back to Sault. Shoots, and that one went wide of the goal. O'Neill for outlet pass to Nick and made it, but not all the way. And Easton Nick, oh, there's up nice between the legs pass to O'Neill. And he's tripped by Lemke, and that looked like a low bridge play by Cameron Lemke, and Anthony O'Neill is slow to get up. So the Sabres will get their first power play chance of today's game as Cameron Lemke goes to the box for 2 minutes or less for kneeing.
Well, we're going to see the power play of Marian here. They do a great job of just getting traffic in front, throwing the puck to the net. So we're going to look to maybe see if they're going to continue to do that, trying to get some chances, trying to create some rebounds, get some guys in front for some easy tap-ins, some what you call garbage goals. But it's nice to see O'Neill's all right.
Underhill, O'Neill, Fournette, Weber, and Easton Nick on the power play for the Sabres, and off the draw. Brody McLeod fires it down the ice. Number 29, Easton Nick, has the puck for the Sabres. He'll hand it off to Jace Weber. Number 6. Long pass, gentle pass, and it didn't make it all the way. And Carrillo fired it back down the ice. Weber to Underhill. And gives it up to Easton Nick. Nick, overline backhand pass, and Carrillo intercepted that one and shot it up into the netting and out of play. 9:59 left to go in the first period. 1 minute and 25 seconds left to go in the penalty to Cameron Lemke. We're all tied up at 1 here. We're live from the Northern Community Centre in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Game 2 of the 2-game homestand between these two teams. And that was Post that won the draw and fired again by McLeod all the way down the ice. What a player number 2 Brody McLeod is for Coach Tanner Burton. Stafford has the puck. Dangerously in front of his own goal and turning. Stafford, out they come. That's Butler. Rink wide to Galloway. Stafford shoots, and that was blockered aside by Trennis Riley as he was brushed gently. As the play resumes, Gavin Galloway coming over the line. Galloway shoots. Oh, and that was a quick shot, and Trennis Riley was right there. And down the ice it goes again. Carther quickly up to Butler, and he left it there. Dylan Windsor almost had a break. He was a half a step away. Cousins to Nick. Easton Nick coming through center. He lost control of that, and Starzomski fires it down the ice. 20 seconds left in the penalty to Lemke. MacArthur, long pass to Easton Nick. And that's Underhill shoots, and a right pad save by Riley. Nick back to Underhill. And McMahon couldn't handle a pass. Shoots. The Cougars are back to full strength. And Wardell thought he had a break, but he missed the puck. Starzomski up to Dylan Windsor. Windsor coming to the center. And Underhill comes out with the puck. Fournette down the left side. Fournette poked away by Zamboro. And Stafford back to Weber, but he couldn't keep it in. Wardell off to Santa Maria. Down the right side of Santa Maria. Shoots! And Jace Weber got a stick in the way of that one, and it went high over the netting and out of play. 8 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the first period. We're all tied up at 1.
Great job by the Cougars penalty kill there. Didn't give Marian any chance of a goal. Just kept everything on the outside, smothered their chances, stayed in the passing lanes, and just kept sending it down the ice. Great penalty kill.
And here comes number 12, Jackson Sweeney, speeding through center. Royal McLeod with a nice poke check. And quickly the Cougars in transition. Kovacs with McLeod going to the net. Drops it off to Santa Maria. Santa Maria Oh, and he looked short side. Another shot by Kovacs. And the back official has made a call. Not really sure what it was. Possibly a hand pass. But we don't really know what it was. High stick. Calls a high stick. 7:37 left to go in the first period. If it was a high stick, the play probably should have come all the way back into the offensive end of the Sault College Cougars. Nevertheless, Easton Nick, right off the draw, Kovacs fires it inside the Sabre zone. Connor Cousins. It's offside for the Cougars. So Jameis has to come out. And that allows the Sabres to easily come out. Nick turning. Shot from the short side, and that was O'Neill. Dangerous again. Anthony O'Neill. Kovacs overskated that a little bit and then got it out into the center ice area. Easton Nick coming over the line. Hit hard there by Blonda. And that was number 27. That was Owen Avery for the Cougars to Kovacs. That pass behind Blonda. And the Sabres need to make a change, so that's going to let the Cougars move out. Santa Maria, one-on-one with Graff, and Graff won that battle. Connor Cousins turns away from number 23. Now that's Lucas DiBardino. Ashton Underhill across to Jace Weber. That will be offside as Jace Weber lost control of the puck, and he was in ahead of the little black disc, and that's offside. 6:28 left to go in the first period. Sault College 1. University of Marian, Wisconsin 1. DiBardino, Johnson, and Moore for the Cougars, and that's flipped all the way down the ice. And that's no icing as Chase Johnson won a nice play. A good effort to negate that icing call. Starzomski back in. And that'll be Jace Weber with the puck for the Sabres. Lost it to Johnson. Underhill takes the puck in the corner. Pokes it ahead to the captain. Fournette. In comes Regan. In front of the net. Oh, and there it was. As Ashton Underhill had his stick tied up just enough by Cohen Carrillo to thwart that scoring chance.
Well, that's just what happens when you put pucks in the net. Anything can happen. You got to create chaos, and that's what Marian just did right there, just putting pucks right to the net.
Christian Regan doesn't get a lot of ice time for the Sabres, but he certainly had a good chance on that one, and that'll be icing on the Sault College Cougars. 5:46 left to go in the first period. Sault College 1, and the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres 1. Galloway and Zambaro on the draw. Galloway winning that. McMahon with a shot, and that one went wide. Galloway in front of the net. And there was a Cougar that got dumped in front of the net. That was Cameron Lemke, but he's up. Windsor again, as he was on the receiving end of a pile of bad hits last night, and he felt that one. Windsor to Zambaro, sliding by Vane. Wardell in to pick up the loose puck. Vane trying to push Wardell off the puck. And the puck is out into the center ice area. And that's Sayu firing it around the boards. McMahon and Novello fighting for the puck in the far corner. Zambaro waiting for it to squirt loose. And that's Vane, has the puck for the Sabres. Long pass for O'Neill, that was in his skates. And Cameron Lemke will pass it across to Brody McLeod, coming down the right side and shooting it in. MacArthur. He's a good puck handler, MacArthur. He's made a few nice passes so far here in this first period. In comes Baller. Right through, and Brody McLeod with a good active stick to knock that puck away. Cousins across to Graff. To Nick. To Butler. O'Neill looking dangerous in front of the net. O'Neill shoots, and that was blocked by McLeod. Cousins shooting, that one made it through, and Riley with a stop. Graf shoots, that was stopped in front of the net. And Trentus Riley jumped on the rebound up. Maybe the best offensive flurry by the Sabres so far in this game.
Well, that's just Marian's keys to the game. They just throw the puck on net. Riley just doing a great job of just combating every single puck that's been put his way. Doing a tremendous job here, and we'll look to see if he continues to do a great job.
Underhill, Fournette, and Regan up front for the Sabres. Looking for the go-ahead goal. Santa Maria kicked that to the wrong team. Fournette, poke check by Starzomski. Santa Maria coming down over the line. Starzomski going to the goal. Kovacs. He was poke checked by Cousins. Back come the Sabres. That's Regan. Rewarded maybe with another shift right away for his good play. Starzomski fires that off the glass. And that hits something on another stanchion. There's been a few bad bounces for both teams off the glass here at the Northern Community Center. Kovacs coming down the left side. Trying to get around Cousins. Cousins tackles him in the far corner. And no call. Back come the Sabres for net. And that one off the stick of Lucas DiBardino. Right to Anthony Blonda. Blonda coming out through his own zone. Nice move around Fournette. Here comes DiBardino speeding through center over the line. That's Brody McLeod with a shot, and that one went wide of the goal. Miller to Weber. A short pass to Ashton Underhill. Caruso coming back with a nice stick work there to bounce the puck off the stick of Ashton Underhill. Tyler Caruso falls over the blue line, and that allows, and he was hit from the side by Stafford. That was a little bit of a blindside hit. Not too serious, though. Galloway didn't get much on that. And the Sault College Cougars get it out. Quickly back inside the Sault College Cougars zone. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the first period. Tyler Caruso dumping that in, barely. Here comes Nesbitt. Cruising down the left side in front to O'Neill. Zambaro off the far boards. And that's Mitchell Moore to Wardell. In front of the net. And that pass was too far ahead of Moore. Nick and O'Neill coming to get the puck. Trying to beat Lemke to the puck. Lemke pushes him off into the corner. Carrillo pushes that puck out to Wardell. Wardell to Zambaro. Zambaro couldn't get that pass as he's streaking Dylan Windsor. Nick coming back over the line. Nick shoots, and that was blocked by Dylan Windsor. Starzomski to Wardell. Back to Starzomski. Nice move, but he lost control of the puck. Easton Nick to O'Neill, and he let the puck. And it goes right inside the open door as the Sault College Cougars were making a change. 71 seconds left to go in the first period. We're all tied up at 1.
Well, you don't see that too much. The puck just rolled straight out into the bench of the door of the Sault College Cougars. But just going to get a little reset here. It's nice for us to get a little break, and we're going to get back to action. Get back to this exciting hockey game.
And the Sabres winning that draw. Back to Cousins. Cousins winds up and let that one go, and that was 3 feet wide of the goal. Graf keeping it in for the Sabres. Keeping it in again was Graf. Fournette, poke checked by Lemke. Novello. That was in the skates of Chase Johnson. But Johnson will have it back. But he gave it up. And that's number 21. Christian Regan out there again. Poked back checking by Novello to Chase Johnson. Post. Just bounces it off the glass. Cousins. Rink wide down the ice to nobody. Will it have enough juice to make it? And they're saying no icing. Blonda. To McLeod, back to Blonda. On the left side, on the right side to Novello. He was hit by Fournette. Miller. Post stole the puck in front of the net. And there was no white sweaters there. Novello Shoots! Oh, and he fired that one high off the glass. And it goes all the way back down the ice. There it is. The buzzer goes. 20 minutes in the books. Sault College Cougars won. And the University of Marian, Wisconsin won. Pretty even both sides. Here in the first period, not quite as aggressive maybe as game number one, but we've got lots of hockey left to play here this afternoon.
Just a back and forth period there. Both teams having almost the equal amount of chances, seeing bumps and bruises, bangs and chips to the net. We're going to continue to see that as this hockey game progresses into the second period at the Northern Community Center.
So after 20 minutes of play, the Sault College Cougars and the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres are tied at 1. We'll be back in about 13 minutes' time for period number 2. Welcome back inside the Northern Community Centre in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Mike Armitage, along with Griffin Sears, here with Game 2 of the two-game homestand between the Sault College Cougars and the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres. Game 1 had the Sault College Cougars in a thrilling overtime victory by a score of 7-6. Griffin, period 1, not even close to as nasty as it was just one night ago.
Definitely not. We've definitely seen more of a kind of polished kind of game today. Looking to more keep to their skills, not really trying to throw the body around, maybe not trying to get penalties. But we're probably going to see them come flying out the gates here in the start of the second period. We're going to see a little bit more body checks, people throwing around the body, maybe making that extra step, finishing their checks, and we're going to see a nice high-paced second period.
And the Sault College Cougars will start the second period with the line of Jameis and Kovacs. And number 17, Brock Santa Maria. Defense, number 2, Brody McLeod, and number 4, Anthony Blonda. Sabres will counter that with Sweeney, Galloway, and Stafford. Here comes the Sabres right out of the gate inside the Sault College zone. That's Brody McLeod being bothered by Galloway. McLeod flipping it into the far corner. Kovacs. Oh, and Galloway overskated that one. Here comes Jameis quickly up to Santa Maria. Bounces that by Graff. Wanda charging up to get the puck. And back comes Dylan Cousins. Check that. Connor Cousins. Dylan Cousins plays for Ottawa. Here comes Cousins over the line. Shoots! And that one went off a stick high over top of the goal. Sweeney looking for Galloway, but that pass was behind him. Miller. Sweeney just fired it in. And the Sabres need to make changes. Brody McLeod. Off the boards to Kovacs. Kovacs quickly up to Santa Maria. Looking for Jameis. That's offside. And so Jameis let it go. McLeod will fire it back in right on. And that would have been no goal as it was offside. Oh, and that was dangerously off the backboards. And Sault College almost had a good chance to score. Zambrano to Wardell. Pinched off the boards. Back comes O'Neill. One-on-one with Starzomski. O'Neill around Starzomski and couldn't quite get there as he's pulled all round by Starzomski. No penalty on that play. O'Neill. Front of the net. And the front official blew the play dead. Maybe the net came off the moorings with 18:24 left to go in the second period. Sault College won. And University of Marian, Wisconsin won. Face off to the right, to the left of Trennis Riley. Butler and Zimbaro on the draw. Mick fired it up, went high in the air. Chase Weber lost that to Zimbaro. Zimbaro in, across. Windsor with a shot, and that was a good save by MacArthur. Wardell bounces out off the boards, behind the goal. Windsor in front. Zimbaro couldn't get to the puck. Windsor again. Windsor shoots. Oh, and he ripped that one wide. And he had an incredible, gorgeous goal last night to win the game for the Sault College Cougars. Miller off the boards to Wardell. Wardell had to wait for Zimbaro to clear the zone. Butler back to Miller. Bounces that off the boards. That'll be Lemke. Will break that up. Miller to O'Neill. Again, O'Neill. Oh, and he was hacked from behind. Lost a glove. No call on that play either. Or there is, by the back official called it. And there's going to be a penalty on the play to the Sault College Cougars. And Starzomski just got 10 more. As he said something to the official that made the call. So Novello will get a 2-minute minor for slashing. And Michael Starzomski will get either 2 or a 10 or both. And we'll have to see what the officials call.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's going to get a 10-minute, just a misconduct here. You got to hold your composure if you're Starzomski. You cannot look towards the official and say anything abusive because the official will call that every single time. And they will try to kill off this power play of the Marian, Wisconsin. And we're going to see a great power play chances that they produce just by throwing the puck to the net. I know I've said that a few times, but they just gain success from doing that. They put pucks on net, put bodies on front, just cause a little bit of craziness in front, and that's usually what leads them to scoring goals here in this hockey game.
O'Neill, Fournette, Underhill, up front for the Sabres, and that shot from Weber made it through. And Trennis Riley with the save. Not really sure what Starzomski was so upset about, but he was sure irate, and he still is over in the penalty box. Draw one by the Sabres. Underhill shoots, and he ripped that one high off the glass. And it came all the way around, back down the ice, MacArthur. And he leaves it there for Jace Weber. The Easton Nick by Kovacs, but he couldn't get by Blonda. Blonda just dumps it in. And Easton Nick will turn and come out. Easton Nick coming down the left side. That's Fournette. Shoots! And a left pad save that was by Trennis Riley. Ashton Underhill to Jace Weber. Anthony O'Neill. Round post. Post got a little hook in there, but that was let go. And Kovacs was almost gone. But Ashton Underhill will take the puck with 58 seconds left to go in the penalty. To Novello. Shoots! That was a wicked shot high off the glass by Ashton Underhill. Dylan Windsor trying to get around Cousins, couldn't do it. And back comes Stafford with Sweeney going to the net. Stafford leaves it there for Galloway. Across, and there was Butler all by himself. But Brody McLeod got his stick in the way, and that probably could have been a sure goal. Sweeney left it there for Butler, wasn't expecting that one. Sweeney, Stafford. Slows things down, Stafford. Back to Cousins. Stafford. Into Galloway, and that was blocked by Blonda. Sweeney trying to wrap around, it didn't work. And Zimbarro gets it all the way down the ice. And that'll do it for the penalty. Novello's out of the box. And the Sault College Cougars are back to full strength. Johnson causing trouble. But the Sabres get out of it. And Cousins backhands it down the ice. Sayu to Wardell, who let it go. And number 8, Kenyon Miller has the puck for the Sabres. Long pass by everybody. And Cameron Lemke will come back to get it. Leaves it there for Sayu. Johnson out into the neutral zone and quickly back in. Chase Johnson for the Sault College Cougars. Overskated that one. Lemke pushes it out into the neutral zone. And Regan had to wait as Underhill was in the zone. Save. Pushed it ahead. Fournette, front of the net. Now hopped over the stick of Miller. Wardell looking for a break. And Weber being bothered by Wardell. They both go crashing into the end boards. And back comes Ashton Underhill. Cruising down the right side. Underhill. There's a swat at the puck by Lemke, and he lost his glove in the process. Weber shoots it, rims it around the boards. Butler, one-time shot, and that was blocked. Regan, Fournette, shoots. That was stopped by Riley. Regan again, bumped by Sayu. Santa Maria, and the puck just comes out over the line as Underhill brought it back in, and the call is offside on the Sabres. 13:51 left to go in the second period. Sault College 1 and Marian, Wisconsin 1.
Well, for about 6 minutes and some change there, We just seen Marian on the full attack, just pressuring the Cougars. We're going to see them try to continue that because they have puck possession. And if you have the puck, the other team doesn't, that's going to be good for your team.
Kovacs. Off the boards to Jameis. Jameis and Santa Maria. 2-on-1. Jameis to Santa Maria. Santa Maria shoots. Oh, and he waited and he fired it wide. Kovacs. Across to McLeod. McLeod couldn't get by McMahon. Butler. O'Neill will. He almost got by Carrillo. O'Neill. Just a regular pain in the butt for the Sault College Cougars again today. He's all over the puck. McLeod to Jameis. Talk about someone who's all over the puck. Jameis. Santa Maria. Decides to curl. Jameis. With the puck in behind the goal. Nick Jameis. Santa Maria with a one-time shot. And that was stopped by Tyler MacArthur. Griffin, doesn't Nick Jameis have a set of hands on him?
Just an unreal set of hands. Even better playmaking skills. Just has his head up the whole way. He's in Gretzky's office in the back, by the back of the net, just trying to find someone in front. He did to Brock Santa Maria, and Brock Santa Maria just could not finish that play.
Post. Johnson. Novello. Blonda. And number 27. Now that's Owen Avery for the Sault College Cougars. Looking for the go-ahead goal. Graff around the boards. Blonda had it go by him. Galloway giving chase. And Sweeney to Galloway. Galloway in front of the net. Pull back. And that was a chance there by number 11, Stafford. And that was stopped by something in front of the net. Graff took post out of the play. Novello wrapped it around the boards. Avery back in. And that looked like that went off something in the Sault College bench. 12:29 left to go in the second period. Sault College and University of Marian, Wisconsin all tied up at 1. Galloway couldn't quite get that draw, so Blonda will dump it in. Cousins has it for the Sabres. Cousins decides to stop and hands it off to Logan Graff. Up the center to Gavin Galloway. Sweeney coming down the right side, one-on-one with Blonda. Back to Stafford. Backhand in front of the net. The puck's loose. Sweeney with a couple of whacks at it. And Riley kept it out. Blonda comes out of the mess with the puck. Anthony Blonda over the line. And he just gave it away to number 8. That's Kenyon Miller. And Connor Cousins will stop in behind the goal. Pushes it ahead for Miller. DiBardino will get it back inside the Sabres zone. MacArthur. Nice pass, but Fournette couldn't handle it. And that's the number 11. That's Moore. With a shot. Another chance. And Moore, DiBardino, and Caruso with a little bit of a push for the Sault College Cougars. 11:25 left to go in the second period. Sault College 1. Marian, Wisconsin 1.
Well, that's just Sault College's bread and butter, just having people work the corners, popping stuff out to the front for their guys that are trailing behind, and just looking for scoring opportunities. And just, if they continue to do that, we're going to see maybe a goal here.
Lemke keeping it in, but didn't get much on that shot. Weber too far ahead of Ashton Underhill, and that will be icing on the Sabres. So the Sabres will have to keep the same players on the ice. The ACHA ruling says if you ice the puck, you're not allowed to change your players. So College will say that it will come to the right of Tyler MacArthur. Lemke, Sayu, Moore, DiBardino, and Caruso up front for the Sault College Cougars. DiBardino winning that draw clean. Lemke to Sayu. Shoots! And that was easily picked out of the air by Tyler MacArthur. Nice play by the Cougars. Winning the draw back to Lemke. Quickly took Sayu. And a quick shot and a save by MacArthur. So we'll do the same thing, but from the other side to the left. of MacArthur. So college will change their players. You wonder why. They had a nice play there just a few seconds before that. So Zimbaro, Windsor, and the number 18, Harley Wardell, will try. Lemke blew a tunnel. To Wardell, to Zimbaro, to Wardell, cookie to Windsor, but couldn't get by Weber. Lemke coming in. He's going to go around Miller. From the net, rebound. He was looking for Wardell in front of the net, and that was blocked. The puck didn't make it in front of the goal. Shoots it to an open side. O'Neill to Butler. Hands it off to Nick. O'Neill in front of the net, and he almost got through. Miller couldn't find the puck. Zimbaro for the Sault College Cougars. And he was poke checked. Galloway. O'Neill has a break. O'Neill, oh, what a play that was! By number 12, Cameron Lemke, as he poke checked the puck away. And O'Neill fell awkwardly into the net, and he's slow to get up. Backhand pass in front of the net, and Galloway was there. Windsor. And back comes Sweeney. Over the line. Poke check by Carrillo, but Nick was there. Galloway almost had the puck, but it was picked up by Jameis. High, long pass to Kovacs. Santa Maria lurking around in front of the goal. Backhand shot by Kovacs. Oh, and that was a dangerous looking play as Kovacs cut to the center, and a backhand pass. Backhand shot against the green. But MacArthur was there. 9:39 left to go in the second period. We're all tied up at 1.
Just a great play by Kovacs there, just getting to the middle of the ice. And I don't think MacArthur even thought a backhand shot was going to come there. Caught him by surprise, but he was able to make that nice save.
McLeod right off the draw. And that shot was wide. That went off the official right to Jameis. Jameis into Santa Maria. To Carrillo. Shoots. Oh, what a right pad save that was. Maybe off a skate. Off a toe. Kovacs coming in down the left side. Stopping. All the way across to Carrillo. To Jameis. He was poke checked, but has it back and then lost it. Cousins. To Sweeney. Stafford was looking for a breakaway pass, but he has it in the neutral zone. Stafford coming in. Stafford in behind the goal. Sault College letting them come around. Stafford shoots, and that went off his own player in front of the net. That was number 21. That was Regan that one hit. Miller. Rink wide pass off the stick up for net, right to Carrillo. Carrillo looking for Santa Maria, and that probably should have been icing, but it wasn't. And Regan let that one go. Blonda for the Cougars. Didn't get it out, and the puck ended up in the bench of the Sabres with 8:20 left to go in the second period. Sault College won, and Marian, Wisconsin won.
Well, we got to mention the defensive abilities of the Cougars, of their defensemen to rush up into the play. That's a defensive coach's dream. Having their defense rush up into the play, get back hard on defense, and just create chances in the offensive zone.
And the puck shot down the ice. That was by Piper post. No icing. Miller to Weber. And he just gets that out into the neutral zone. Post. Trying to get around his player. Backhand pass to Johnson. To Novello. Shoots right into the net of number 50, Tyler MacArthur. Nice shot there by Novello, and a better save by MacArthur. 7:54 left to go in the second period. Sault College won, and Marian, Wisconsin won. Face-off will come to the right of the visiting goal. Post, Johnson, Novello for the Cougars up front. That's Nesbitt getting the puck out, and back comes Blonda to Johnson, trying to get around Nesbitt. Johnson with a shot, and that was blocked by Nesbitt, and is fired around the boards by McMahon. Owen Avery. Rink wide pass to Johnson. Let it go off his skate. Nesbitt. To McMahon. And he bats it down the ice. And Ryan will hand it off to Owen Avery, but he missed it. And Novello was there to pick it up. Post to Blonda. And Blonda decides to come back. 7 minutes left to go in the second period. We're all tied up one. Here comes Easton Mick. Mick. Butler with a shot. Score! Easton Mick with a short backhand pass to Devin Butler to the back of the net. And the Marian, Wisconsin Sabres are up by a score of 2-1.
Well, just a slick feed to the man in front. Butley just, Riley cheated high. He went low, through the pads to the 5-hole. Just a nice play there. Great way to slip it underneath. And we have a 2-1 hockey game here.
So the Cougars will send out the big line of Jameis, Santa Maria, and Kovacs. Looking for the tying goal. But Sweeney will dump it in the Sault College zone. Sayu. Picked up by Stafford. Stafford looking for a streaking Cousins on the far side. The pass didn't make it. Sweeney back to Graff. Shoots that one off a leg. Stafford has the puck. All the way across to Cousins. Sends it to the goal, and that one off the handle of the stick of Trennis Riley. Jameis. And that's Santa Maria. Let it go. Kovacs quickly on the puck. Kovacs around Graff. Kovacs still has the puck. Kovacs. Will he hand it off? No, he's got to. Oh, what a move that was by Stafford. Scores! Did you see that move by Jacob Kovacs? And he carried the puck and went all over the place, and he buried it high on the blocker of Tyler MacArthur, and we're all tied up at 2.
Well, the old saying is, if you want something done, go do it yourself. And he just did. What a move by Jacob Kovacs. Great play to get to the middle of the ice. Just nice set of hands. Put it past MacArthur.
.607 left to go in the second period. Sault College 2 and the University of Marian, Wisconsin 2. First period had 1 goal by each team. Second period, so far, 1 goal by each team. Underhill and Zimbarro on the draw, just outside the blue line of the Marian, Wisconsin Sabres. Puck squirts out to the near boards. McLeod dumps it in the far corner. Weber hit by Windsor. And the puck comes out to Ashton Underhill. Zimbarro back in to Windsor again, was hit hard. Wardell fires it around the boards. Miller, Kenyon Miller to Regan. Kristen Wiegand couldn't get it by McLeod, who fired it in. And that's going to be Jace Weber. Fires it off the boards. And Blonda has it for Sault College. Across to Brody McLeod. McLeod high off the glass. And that'll be Kenyon Miller. Couldn't get by the stick of Wardell. They got a 3-on-1, Sault College. Wardell all by himself. Wardell, oh, and he shot that wide. Didn't get much on that one. And he was looking short side. Hardy Wardell looking for the go-ahead goal. The Blonda too far ahead of Zimbarro. Miller, long outlet pass away from everybody, and that will be icing on the Sabres. And somehow the Sault College Cougars ended up with a 3-on-1, and that didn't get much of a chance out of it.
Well, you take really a big risk when you want to go short side. Wardell chose to go short side, just couldn't get the angle he wanted, couldn't get the right shot off. But it was a nice try. But I would probably want to look towards maybe getting a shot off a rebound there. You got 2 other guys in front of you, maybe another pass. But it's all right. We're going to see maybe if the Cougars can get another offensive chance here.
DiBardino, Moore, and Caruso up front for the Cougars. And Regan has the puck for the Sabres. Off the glass and out. Starzomski back on the ice after he took a 10-minute minor misconduct. And that was number 11. Mitchell Moore was hit hard from behind. Miller. Long pass, and that went by everybody down the ice. No icing. And they called it icing. And the linesman had waved it off, but I think he was waving off offside rather than the icing. 4:36 left to go in the second period. Sault College 2 and Marian, Wisconsin Sabres 2. DiBernino, Moore, Caruso, Starzomski, and Carrillo. All up for the face-off to the right of the Sabres goal. And again, the Sabres centerman is thrown out of the face-off circle. These people watching the Ontario Hockey League, as the officials there, won't drop the puck either. Drop the puck. Starzomski shoots, and that went off something in front of the net. And that might have went off the stick of number 6, Jace Weber. And MacArthur had to be razor sharp on that one as that puck changed directions.
Well, that's just a great heads-up save by MacArthur. Bounced off of, was it a stick, a helmet, something. But that's just nice to get something on that and make a nice save.
Starzomski with a shot, and that's steered aside by MacArthur. Caruso in front of the net. And that's picked up by Nesbitt. Up to Butler. Shoots. Rebound. Where is it? Butler has it again. In behind the goal. Caruso on the far side. Nick fires it to an open wing, and Starzomski will bang it off the glass. Down the ice. That will be icing on the Sault College Cougars. With 4 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in the second period. Tie game, 2s apiece. 4:03 left to go in the second period. And the face-off to the left of Trennis Riley. O'Neill. Butler. O'Neill off the draw, but he couldn't get the puck as Carrillo had a stick in the way. Caruso to Carrillo. And MacArthur pushes it to the side. Connor Cousins. Long pass went off the glove of DiBernino. Right to Easton Nick. Nick shoots. Oh, and he got a lot on that one. And that was high over top of the net. Jameis, back pass. And that one didn't make it. Butler with a shot. And that one was stopped in front of the net. Santa Maria trying to get the puck, and it comes down the ice. But it won't have enough juice to make it all the way. Logan Graff. Long pass by everybody. That could be icing. Again on the Sabres. And Griffin, we've seen about 5 icings in the last minute and a half. 3 by the Sabres and 2 by Sault College.
Well, I think it's just a little bit of mix of just trying to get the puck out. Maybe just miscommunication, maybe a little bit of frustration going into that. But on that play, Marian probably could have easily settled it down. Didn't want to get the ice in there to get anything on the Sault College, maybe get them a chance here.
Jameis was looking to intercept that pass, but he missed it, and it went all the way down the ice. This time, no icing. Riley. Oh, and he gave it away to Sweeney, who shot the puck right away at the goal. But Riley had found his way back into the crease and made a good stop. 3:07 left to go in the second period. Sault College 2 and Marian, Wisconsin 2. Galloway, Stafford, and Sweeney up front for the Sabres. Looking for a go-ahead goal. This time the Sault College Cougars forward was thrown out of the face-off circle. Jameis to Santa Maria, trying to get by Weber. Santa Maria still has the puck. Santa Maria coming into the slots. Santa Maria dropped it for Lemke, who just pushed it ahead. Galloway. Quick pass to Stafford, who shoots it in behind the goal. Sayu. Kovac. Sayu was hit hard into the boards. Stafford. Shoots short side, and he shot it off the right shoulder of Trennis Riley, high over the glass and out of play.
Well, we've seen that a couple times now from both sides. Each team trying to go short side, trying to sneak it under the bar. So we're going to see maybe if they're going to look towards maybe getting a harder shot, maybe low, get a nice rebound. But we'll see what Marian can produce here in the offensive zone.
Underhill, Regan, for now with a shot right off the draw. They tried that play again, but that was blocked. Novello for the Sioux College Cougars. Fires it around the boards. And McMahon to Regan. It comes out to Blonda. Blonda just shoots it back in, and it went off the left hand of McMahon. Fang. He was run into the boards by Post. MacArthur will give it off to McMahon. McMahon gave that away to Johnson. Johnson for the net. Oh, what a play that was! As he put that puck through the feet of number 37, Fane, but couldn't get it by MacArthur.
Great play, but an even better save. MacArthur sprawled out on the ice trying to find the puck, and he did. Made an unreal save to stop the pressure of the Cougars.
1 minute and 50 seconds left to go in the second period. We're all tied up at 2 apiece. Butler winning that draw. Oh, stolen in front of the net by Wardell. Another chance for Wardell. And he had 2 outstanding chances, but couldn't beat MacArthur. Zambaro in behind the goal with Graf. Zambaro. Cousins coming in looking for the loose puck. And it's getting tied up. And the puck squirts out. Cousins to O'Neill. Couldn't get by McLeod. On the far side is Windsor. Zambaro, that one off the official, and back out into the neutral zone. Nick, too far ahead of O'Neill. Stolen from Wardell to Butler. Shoots! Oh, and a stick save by Trennis Riley against Butler. Looking for his second of the game. Nick, Butler, around the far side. O'Neill let it go. And Windsor got it out back inside the Sabre zone. We're under a minute to go in the second period. Connor Cousins turning around. Being bothered there by Jameis. Around number 18. And that will be offside. As Harley Wardell had 2 glorious scoring chances. That's his third of the period, but couldn't find the back of the net.
Well, I'm not surprised. He's a hard worker, Wardell. He always tries to create chances for other people, and just the puck has found his stick, and he's had a couple, maybe 3 or 4 opportunities. He just cannot bury the net, but if he gets one again, I wouldn't be surprised if he buries it.
For the goal, and Galloway had the puck go over his stick. Miller across to Weber. Shoots, that was blocked in front. Weber again. Sends it to the goal. That one off the stick of Santa Maria. Seu took his player out in the far corner. Jameis. Santa Maria. Looking for Jacobs. Starzomski. Back to Santa Maria. What a move, Santa Maria. And still can. Santa Maria still has the puck. Back. And Seu was getting ready to load it up. But the buzzer goes, and after 2 periods of play, the Sioux College Cougars and the Marian, Wisconsin Sabres are tied at 2. 1 goal apiece in the first period, 1 goal apiece in the second period. And Griffin, that looks like we're going to have a dandy third period coming up.
Well, yes, you are completely right. This game has a bunch of punches, then counter punches. Like we just seen in the offensive zone there with Santa Maria. He kind of was just waiting for the perfect opportunity to try to get a goal. But in my opinion, he had his coaches yelling at him to shoot the puck with the dying seconds left. And I was looking maybe towards a shot, but maybe he was just trying to figure out a play. But we're going to get some exciting hockey here going into the third, and we're going to be back in 13 minutes.
So once again, after 40 minutes of play, the Sioux College Cougars and the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres are tied at 2. 20 minutes left to go, and we'll see you back in about 13 minutes' time. We're back inside the Northern Community Centre in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Mike Armitage, Griffin Sears, with bringing you the play-by-play for tonight's game between the Sault College Cougars and the visiting University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres. After 2 periods of play, we're all tied up at 2, where we had 13 goals in yesterday's game. It doesn't look like we're going to get there today, Griffin.
Well, it's a little bit more of a closer hockey game. The goalies are playing a significant part in that. We're going to see a really high-paced third period here. 0-0 essentially. New game for 20 minutes.
And right off the draw, that's Sweeney shoots, and that's blockered aside by Trennis Riley. Back Sault College, and that's touched, will be offside on the Marian, Wisconsin Sabres. Sault College, big line on the ice. Kovacs, Jameis, Santa Maria, Blonda, and Brody McLeod. McLeod for the Cougars. Up the center to Jameis. Try to backhand pass. That one off a skate. Kovacs. Backhand pass to Brody McLeod. Around his own goal. Gives it off to Blonda. Jameis. Too far ahead of Kovacs. He'll get it off the boards. Kovacs. In behind the net. Pushed from behind into the boards. And that was a dangerous play, as that was a check from behind almost. Kovacs hopefully gets up and is okay. Blonda to Jameis. Front Kovacs. And that one off a skate. Sweeney with Cousins catching up from behind. Cousins too far ahead. Brody McLeod overskated that one. Galloway. The Blonda intercepts the puck. Sweeney going to take a wild swipe at that one. And a right pad save by Riley, and it's shot down the ice. And that will be icing on the Sault College Cougars with 18:39 left to go in the third period. And Griffin, that was a dangerous hit on number 72, Jacob Kovacs.
Well, he's very slow to get up. Hopefully maybe a trainer looks at him. I don't like the way he's coming up with his arms, how they kind of went a little bit limp. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Cougars do with a little bit of tired legs with the icing. Marian's got the fresh legs on, and we're going to see what happens here.
Jameis winning another draw. Oh, and that one off the side of the college goal, right in front of the net. And Santa Maria comes in, knocks it on his harm's way. Blonda across to Kovacs. So Kovacs is back out there, and he looks to be okay. MacArthur in behind the net. We'll leave it there for Kenyon Miller. Number 8, Kenyon Miller. The Butler. I know. O'Neill. Too far ahead of O'Neill, and Wardell has it for the Sault College Cougars. Harley Wardell to Dylan Windsor. Long pass to Zambaro. Zambaro on the left side. In front of the net. Windsor shoots. Oh, and how did that not go in? That hit something in front of the net. And it looked like he had an open cage. The top half of the net looked to be open. That was offside, as Anthony O'Neill was a half a step ahead of the puck. And what a chance, Griffin, for number 5, Dylan Windsor. Maybe a second game-winning goal in as many games.
Yes, he took the extra second to control the puck, and that's what kind of led to the puck getting deflected out of the way. It went off the body of a Marian player, but as we've seen there, Marian entering the zone, you cannot make a D at the blue line. And that's the ice, the offside there.
Fournette. That was intercepted by Tyler Caruso. And then number 5, Colin McMahon. Too far ahead of Regan. So back it comes. Sayu for the Cougars. Going to fire it in. Around the boards by MacArthur. And McMahon tried to get it out, and it jumped off a stick, and it hit something in the Sabres bench. Jacob Kovacs would like to say hi to his mom, who he knows is watching. I hope she's doing okay and having as much fun watching the game as we are bringing it to everybody out there watching. 17-13 left to go in the third period. We're all tied up at 2. Face off to the right of Tyler MacArthur. Cousins. Stafford coming down the left wing. Pushed off the puck by Post. And Cousins following in behind, keeps it in. Galloway in the far corner. That went off a stick high into the netting. And the whistle goes. 16:54 left to go in the third period. University of Marian, Wisconsin 2. And the Sault College Cougars 2. Stafford, Galloway, Sweeney, Cousins, and Graff up front for the Sabres. Novello to Post with Chase Johnson. And they couldn't get the puck to Johnson. Back comes Galloway. Galloway. Nice play by Brody McLeod. What a solid play that was. And he's been so good for the Cougars all season. Leaving it there for Novello. Around Cousins. Novello. Back to the point. That's Carrillo. Shoots in the skates of Post. Novello. Around the boards. And Cousins will gather it in. Checked by Johnson. Novello. Turning. And behind the net to Post. Johnson in front of the rebound. Oh, what a save that was by MacArthur, his best of the game. And Johnson had another open cage. That's a second open net. Scores! And after that save, and the Sault College Cougars score on a 55-foot shot by number 2, Brody McLeod. And the Sault College Cougars are up by a score of 3-2. And Griffin, I don't know if anybody else deserves it more than number 2, Brody McLeod, who does yeoman's work for Coach Tanner Burden and the Sault College Cougars.
Well, it's just the old saying, put pucks on net, and you never know what can happen. As we've seen there, he floated it to the net. MacArthur lost sight of the puck as he just made a great save to keep it tied. But we see now, it is now a 3-2 hockey game for the Cougars.
Back on the Cougars, Santa Maria. Except Anthony O'Neill. Rink-wide pass to Easton Nick. Nick waiting. Shoots! Oh, and he fired that one high off the glass. Jameis. And he just gets it out. Knocked down by Kenyon Miller. Miller shoots, and that's gloved down by Trennis Riley. 15:24 left to go in the third period. Sault College 3 and Marian, Wisconsin 2. Nick O'Neill. Oh, they're going to change. Fournette, Underhill, and number 21, that's Christian Regan up front for the Sabres. Starzomski. Underhill intercepted that one. Regan in front of the net, and there was nobody there. Another shot by Nesbitt, and that went off the skate of Brock Santa Maria, high off the glass and out of play. 15:14 left to go in the third period. Sault College 3 and Marian, Wisconsin 2. Same line. Fournette, Underhill, Regan, Cousins, and Graff for the Sabres. And Santa Maria winning that draw. Lemke behind the net to Sayu. Regan for the Sabres. And it comes out. Kovacs quickly over to Nick Jameis. Couldn't get by Cousins. And Santa Maria will dish it back to Sayu. Long pass, looking for Kovacs, and that one off a stick. And Connor Cousins will stop behind his own goal. 14 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the third period. Here comes Ashton Underhill. Nice move there, right through Zimbaro. Took a hack there from Windsor. Underhill shoots, that was stopped by Riley. Back to Cousins, across to Graff. Sends it to the goal, went wide. Oh, and Regan had an open net, and he missed the puck. As Riley was caught sliding the opposite way. Cousins looking for Regan, and that missed the mark. Underhill lost that to Lemke. Shot that off the glass and into the netting. And what a chance that was for Christian Regan to tie the game for the Sabres.
Well, Regan was on the back door there, popped out to him. Just couldn't get enough mustard on that shot. he's going to probably be thinking about that one for the rest of the game, maybe on the trip home.
Galloway, Stafford, Sweeney for the Sabres. Sabres need a goal. And once again, the puck is high off the glass and into the netting. 14:03 left to go in the third period. Sault College 3 and Marian, Wisconsin 2. Galloway and Post on the draw. Post winning that cleanly back to the goal scorer, Brody McLeod. Weber keeping that in. And they're going to call that a hand pass. And so the whistle goes and the face-off will come outside the Sault College zone. 13:56 left to go in the third period. Cougars nursing a 1-goal lead. And this time, Sweeney comes out of the pack with the puck, but he's quickly checked by Novello. And he gave it away. Stafford, where is it? And it's kicked away by McLeod. Weber sends it to the goalhouse, blocked nicely by Novello. And that was almost costly for the Cougars. Miller dumping the puck in. Blonda takes a check from Stafford. Too many men. And that's Miller dumping it high. And it goes down in behind Trennis Riley. Brody McLeod to Moore. Back to McLeod. Flipping it high out into the neutral zone. Knocked down by McMahon. And back comes Easton Nick. Shoots. That's steered aside by the stick of Trennis Riley high up into the netting with 12:58 left to go in the third period. That was almost a costly giveaway for the Sault College Cougars.
Yes, as we've seen, just both teams they love to keep pressure on the zone. We have shots for the Cougars 24 and Marian with 22. It's been very evenly sided, so we're going to continue to see that in this third period.
Nick James almost flawless on the faceoffs for the Sault College Cougars as he won another one. Santa Maria looking to go in front of the goal and hopped over the stick of Jacob Kovacs, who upended his player. Starzomski to Kovacs to Santa Maria. Santa Maria back to James. Shoots, and he hit the crossbar. Nick James rattled one off the bar. They heard that one on Core Road. Back comes Easton Nick to Anthony O'Neill. He gets by Curlo, but Curlo just got a piece of him. A nice play there by Starzomski. Butler in front of the net. Scores! Easton Nick on a nice pass by Devin Butler. And once again, Griffin all tied up at 3 with 12 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third period.
Well, Nick was just left all alone in front. You cannot let that happen if you're the Cougars. He's in a prime scoring chance. The puck ends up on his stick, and he capitalizes. And we have a tie hockey game here with 12-11 in the third period.
Cameron Lemke will come back into his own zone, retrieving the puck to Sayu. Sayu gave that away. Another shot that's Underhill. Another giveaway by the Cougars. Cousins shoots, and that one went off the leg of Sayu. Dylan Windsor got it by Cousins. Wardell, nice play by Windsor. Here comes MacArthur. Oh, MacArthur coming way out of the goal, and a shot by Windsor. And Wardell was dumped in behind the play, and they could have called that, but they decided not to, as they're going to let the players decide the game. Windsor, almost another goal for Dylan Windsor. Jace Weber wrapping that around the boards, and that's too far ahead of Frenette. And Anthony Blonda leaving it there for McLeod to Novello. Zimbaro let that one go over his stick. Miller and Frenette pounced it off the boards. And there was somebody got hurt on the far side, and that's Zimbaro. That I didn't see what happened to him, but he doesn't look be in good shape. 10:54 left to go in the third period. We're all tied up at 3. And I didn't see what happened, Griffin. I'm not sure if you did.
Well, I can't remember who it was on the Marian side, but he might have got a stick. I can't really know what he's grasping there, maybe to the head or to an arm of Zambaro, and that's why he's kind of shaken up. I think it was a stick to the body, maybe to the face, under the neck. I can't really tell right now as we're kind of just at a little bit of a quiet moment here. Hopefully Zambaro's all right.
As the medical staff is out looking at Gabriel Zambaro. Back and forth, 1 goal each in the first period, 1 goal each in the second period. And here in the third period, 1 goal each. Brings us to a 3-3 tie. We take a look at the shots on goal clock. Exactly the same, 24 shots on goal by each team. The officials had a discussion over by the penalty box to see if anything was going to be called. And for Zambaro to be in that kind of a situation, something happened. It wasn't just a little nick. So hopefully it's not as serious as it looks. This game here has been not even close to being as nasty as last night's, but now that could trigger something here in the last 10 minutes of the third period.
Well, it definitely can, especially with the Cougars bench going almost berserk there, wanting a call, putting all their hands up for a penalty. And I'm pretty sure we're hearing murmurs in the crowd here that it was a spearing. So he might have got it somewhere in the body or maybe close to the neck area. But you never want to see that in hockey. Spearing is kind of a dirty play. We don't want it in today's game at all. We want to kind of keep that kind of style of hockey in the past. If we want to keep player safety, as Zambaro looks like he's trying to get up here, and we just wish everything is all right with Zambaro. And as he gets to his feet here, the crowd will clap. He's going to go to the bench, get checked on, and we hope everything's okay.
And that's good news for the Sault College Cougars as Gabriel Zambaro is up on his skates and he's on the bench. So the officials are conferring at the penalty box area, and we'll see if anything will come of this. We're certainly having a long discussion with the timekeeper. Windsor and Nick over there making sure everything's on the up and up. Gavin Galloway, relatively silent here this afternoon. For the Sabres, he's the leading point getter for them. And they'll be looking to him and the number 15, Anthony O'Neill, to maybe come out here in the last half of the third period, looking for a winning goal or two to even the series up at 1 game apiece.
Well, Galloway and O'Neill both had their opportunities today. Galloway leads his team in points, so they're probably going to try to look to him, as you were saying, and we're going to see. I think they just put up on the board a 5-minute penalty, so it's a major. So I'm pretty sure it's a spearing major that we're going to see, and that's going to be a great opportunity for the Sault College Cougars. Set something up with the major, maybe get a goal. Who knows? But we can't look into the future. We're going to have a nice, even hockey game here, as I think they made the right call. You don't want that in today's game, so the referees conferred, and they're still kind of talking to each other, but in my opinion, and I think you can agree with me, that they made the right call there.
I believe so as well, as Caden Fournette has been issued a 5-minute major, and he is gone from the rest of this hockey game. Sault College looking to score at least once on this 5-minute major. The big line, Santa Maria, Kovacs, Novello, Starzomski, and Jameis Jameis. Back to Starzomski. Kovacs. Starzomski. He lost that one, but Jameis got it back. Kovacs. That went through his skates. Santa Maria. Novello looking for the puck to come out, but Kovacs has it, and it comes back to Starzomski. Back to Kovacs. Kovacs. Coming around across to Jameis. Novello. That's Santa Maria. Check that behind the goal. Graf coming in to break up that play. Novello. Back to Jameis. Kovacs with a shot, and that was blocked by Sweeney. Nice play by number 12, Sweeney. Couldn't get it out. Starzomski kept it in. Michael Starzomski. Santa Maria. Oh, and he's waited and waited. And there's another one in front of the goal as Santa Maria was buried by someone. And Griffin, you were right. It is a spearing penalty, a 5-minute major to number 18, Caden Fournette. And the Sault College Cougars had a chance there. Santa Maria hanging on to the puck, maybe a little too long.
Yeah, he's done that a few times tonight, just kind of waiting for the play to develop, but it's just not there. He's got to try to maybe just throw it in front, but Starzomski doing what he does best is trying to get under the skin of the other team, and MacArthur gave him a shot in front, and I'm surprised they didn't call a penalty for that.
Lemke. That's Chase Johnson. Back to Lemke. Johnson, nice work to keep it in. Rimming it around the boards. That's number 5. That's Dylan Windsor. And that's back to Brody McLeod. Johnson. Across. Lemke shoots. And a nice save by MacArthur as MacArthur came from his right to left and got his big body in front of the puck.
Yeah, that's just a great pass to slide it over. MacArthur comes over, gets big, and takes away any opportunity of a short side shot to get inside the net there. Great save to knock it away into the netting.
Sault College all over the puck here in the first minute and 20 seconds of the 5-minute power play. Johnson back to Lemke. Johnson let it go. Windsor. And that's Harley Wardell with the puck. Turning. Wardell. Shoots and he shot that one wide, and Wardell's had a few chances tonight to score. And he's come up empty so far. Trennis Riley leaving it there for Cameron Lemke, big number 12. And there's number 2, Brody McLeod. Has 1 goal for the Cougars so far tonight. Lemke to Windsor. And that was called offside. 8:59 left to go in the third period. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the major penalty to Caden Fournette. Fournette, the captain of the Sabres, so he'll be missed in the last 9 minutes of today's game. Other players will have to pick it up for their captain. Nick Jameis has the puck for the Cougars. Back to Michael Starzomski. We'll leave it there for Jacob Kovacs. Kovacs gave that away to Underhill. Here comes Starzomski. Kovacs. Jameis. Back to Kovacs, just too far ahead of him, but Jameis has the puck. And he'll fire it around the boards to Santa Maria. Couldn't control that one off the boards. Stafford coming in looking for a loose puck. And the Sabres just happy to keep it on the board. Starzomski to Jameis. Shoots. And no rebound. No rebound given by MacArthur. As the Sabres defense is bending but not breaking.
Yes, that's a great point right there. We have to give MacArthur some acknowledgement here, as we unfortunately see some Barrow go to the dressing room. That's not too good for the Sault College Cougars. But as we look down, MacArthur's looking sharp tonight as this power play goes into the end of it.
Great control by the Cougars, but no results so far here on this 5-minute power play. Kovacs. He was poke checked, and so it comes back out into the neutral zone. And the Cougars have to regroup, and they'll be offside on the far side, right in front of the Sabres bench. 7:58 left to go in the third. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the major penalty to Caden Fournette. And if the Sabres can kill this off, that'll be a big-time boost for them. Santa Maria, Kovacs, Novello, Jameis, and Starzomski for the Cougars. Kovacs at his own blue line to Michael Starzomski. Jameis pushing it ahead, but Sweeney was there. And that's number 6, Jace Weber. Couldn't get it out. Kovacs. Jameis. And that was just right on the stick of Galloway, who fired it down the ice. Riley will leave it there for number 22, Nick Jameis. Coming down the right side, Jameis. Jameis still has it. Around Graff, but Graff with a nice poke check. And Nick gave it back to Jameis, who pushes it back to McLeod. Lemke shoots that one off a leg in front of the goal. Wardell has the puck, went over his stick. Lemke to McLeod, shoots, and that one went wide of the goal. Jameis with the puck. Wardell with a shot, and he shot it just wide. And that's Butler, couldn't get it by Lemke. McLeod to Jameis, for the net. And Lemke took another whack at that one. Lemke has the puck. Back to Wardell. Sends it to the goal. And that was stopped by MacArthur. Tremendous pressure, Griffin, by the Sault College Cougars, but no results.
Well, I'm surprised nothing went in there, especially for Riddell. He's going to have nightmares about tonight, but how many golden opportunities he had, just hasn't been able to bury it. And we have 39 seconds left here in this 5-minute major.
Back to the point. McLeod off the far boards. And that's Miller in behind the goal, trying to freeze the puck, poked free by Weber. That's Chase Johnson behind the net to Windsor. Johnson couldn't control that one. Back to the point. That's McLeod. Around O'Neill. Shoots. That's blocker down by MacArthur. McLeod. Back to Lemke. Shoots. And no rebound. And that's going to almost do it for the 5-minute major. We've got 2 seconds left in the 5-minute major. That was handed out to Caden Fournette. 5:56 left to go in the third period. And what a boost that would be if the Sabres could kill us off.
Yeah, it would be a very big boost for the Sabres. But for a 5-minute major, it sometimes takes the wind out of the sails of a team that cannot capitalize on the opportunity. The Cougars just need to keep on it, keep on their pressure for their chance to win this game.
A puck shot all the way down the ice, right on goal, and Trentus Riley had no choice but to cover it up, and the whistle goes. 5:48 left to go in the third period, and the face-off will be to the right of the Sault College goaltender. Post and Galloway on the draw. Post winning that one to Starzomski. Oh, and he ran over his player, Stafford, and then was dumped. Post overskated that. Galloway from the goal. Shoots a weak shot, steered aside. Starzomski batted away. And there's a high stick by number 11, Stafford, on Starzomski, who felt that one, and he's got to go off. And on comes Brody McLeod. Brody McLeod, I think, has played 40 minutes in tonight's game. And he's got the puck again. Number 2, Brody McLeod. Over the line. Around Graff. McLeod from the goal. And the puck goes all the way through the crease. Back comes number 11, Blake Stafford. McLeod giving chase. And McLeod got a stick in the lane. Post gives it to number 11. That's Mitchell Moore. Over the line. Looking for DiBardino, cutting through the slot. And couldn't find the mark. Back comes Butler to O'Neill. O'Neill shoots. Oh, and he ripped that one over top of the goal. DiBardino with a beautiful pass to Kovacs. Score! Just an absolutely sweet pass from number 23, Lucas DiBernino, on the stick of number 72, Jacob Kovacs. And that's the person that you don't want on a breakaway if you're the Sabres. And the Cougars are up by a score of 4-3.
Well, Kovacs going to the net, yelling for DiBernino to give him the puck, and he did, and he capitalized on that opportunity. What a way to slide it under the pad for Kovacs, and that was just an unreal play followed by an unreal goal.
Santa Maria in front of the net for Kovacs again, but MacArthur covers it up. 4:16 left to go in the third period. Sault College 4 and Marian, Wisconsin 3. Holy cow, what a game we got here this afternoon here at the Northern Community Center between these two teams. Santa Maria back to Lemke. Bangs it off the boards to Jameis. What a pass that was, but Santa Maria couldn't get the puck. Back comes Underhill. Rink wide on the stick of Connor Cousins. Cousins over the line. Trying to get around Lemke. Stops. And Jameis was Kovacs pushed off the puck right in front of the Sault College bench. Underhill trying to freeze it. Lemke pokes it free. Jameis just getting it out. Good work. We'll give it to Christian Regan. Regan over the line. 21 has a couple of chances already tonight to score. Regan. And he lost that puck to Wardell, who was pushed off the puck. Kept in by Miller. Jameis on the stick of Harley Wardell. Wardell and Santa Maria. Wardell stops, waiting for troops to come in. Wardell keeps it. Shoots, rebound. Where is it? Wardell has it again. It's in front of the goal. McLeod decides to go around. Another shot short side. That's blocked by the right pad. Not MacArthur. Oh, Wardell's going to be dreaming about trying to score, as he's had several chances in today's game. Wardell leaves it there for Brody McLeod. And that's just tipped by Lucas DiBernino down the ice. DiBernino is the one with the beautiful pass to Jacob Kovacs for so far the go-ahead goal. We won't say game winning yet. It's just the go-ahead goal. And that will be offside on the Sabres. 2:34 left to go in the third period. Sault College up by a mere one goal late in the third period.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. Marian looks a little bit gassed right now. They need to pick up the pace a little bit, find that extra gear. Sault College is all over them right now, and they continue to sustain that pressure that they have inside their zone.
That 5-minute penalty kill that they did might have taken some wind out of their sails. And Cohen Carrillo will get it out into the neutral zone. Novello too far ahead of Chase Johnson. Galloway on the far side. And the puck hops into the bench of the Sault College Cougars. 2:12 left to go in the third period. Sault College 4 and the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres 3. Face-off will be to the left of Trennis Riley. And that looks like the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres have used their timeout. So they'll gather at the bench, and we'll see what they can come up with a plan, because they need one goal, and they need it in a hurry.
Well, yes, you do. So we're going to keep an eye on it for you guys while the camera's in the Sault College zone. They might look to maybe pull their goalie for Marian as we get that 30-second timeout as coaches are drawing up plays. We have Sault College coach drawing up schemes to try to get the puck out of the zone. I'm making an assumption. I don't know if they're going to be pulling the goalie, but it looks to be about two minutes and some change left. So we're going to keep an eye out, like I just said, on the goalie, and we're going to see if Marian decides to pull the net for the extra man advantage.
Keep our eye on Tyler MacArthur. If the Sabres don't score, we'll see if they'll pull him for the extra attacker. And the face-off will be to the left of Trennis Riley. So the Sabres will send out Nick, Butler, O'Neill, Cousins, and Graff looking for the tying goal. McLeod, of course, is on the ice for the Cougars. And it squirts out. And Kovacs tried to get away. Back comes O'Neill. Anthony O'Neill. That's going to be offside as the puck came out over the line. And that was very close to not being offside. And I guess it's always offside if they call it. Even if it wasn't offside, they called it. 2 minutes even left to go in the third period. Sault College 4 and the Sabres 3. Brody McLeod to Blonda. Santa Maria off the glass looking for Jameis. Deep in the Sabres zone. Jameis has the puck. He was checked by Butler. That'll be kept in by McLeod. Sends it to the goal. Rebound. And it's on the stick of Jameis. Shoots again. And he fanned on that one. Graff to Butler. That was Nick. Check that. Nick has the puck for the Sabres. Coming through the neutral zone and fires it in off the backboards. And that's Brody McLeod. And I doubt if Brody McLeod will go off the rest of the game. He'll be out there. He'll have to be pretty drastic if he's going off. Jace Weber turning in his own zone. Coming through center. Skating well. Oh, and he ran into his own player. And that will be called. Oh, they're going to call a high stick. The puck must have tapped it in the air and knocked down with a high stick. I missed that one. 67 seconds left to go in the third period. Sault College nursing a 4-3 lead.
Well, I talked about them potentially pulling the goalie, but Marian hasn't had the opportunity of a sustained pressure in the Cougars zone. They cannot seem to keep it in right now, and that's the reason why they are unfortunately losing this game.
And we're under a minute to go in the third period. Jace Weber has the puck for the Sabres. Rink-wide pass on the stick of number 12. That's Jackson Sweeney over the line. Couldn't get by Blonda. Blonda. He was buried on the far side. Oh, and he was hit hard, blindsided. And there's no penalty on that play. Holy cow. The Sabres have pulled their goaltender, and they've got 6 attackers on the ice. That was a very dangerous hit, and we'll hope that he's okay. Stafford over the line. Leaves it there for Galloway. Galloway couldn't get that by DiBardino. Windsor get out into the neutral zone. Cousins across. That's Stafford. And he couldn't get it in, and the puck shot down. Could it be icing? No icing as Jace Weber comes back. And he just shots, and he fired it wide. And the buzzer goes. The game is over. The final score, the Sault College Cougars 4 and the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres 3. And Griffin, just like one night ago, a one-goal game, and the Sault College Cougars come out on top.
Well, yeah, it was decided by one goal. What a game, though, between both these teams. You got to really tip your hat to Marian. They played really hard just about till 5 minutes left. I think they just lost a little pep in their step, kind of lost the energy of the game, and that was the kind of deciding factor that led to them, unfortunately, getting the loss tonight. But as these boys, you might be upset with each other, you might be banter during the games, but this is the greatest part about hockey, putting everything aside and giving those boys a tap, because you do go to battle with those guys, and it's nice to see the sportsmanship, and you gotta love it.
Final shots on goal here in game number 2 of the 2-game homestand by the Sault College Cougars 34 and by the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres 26. Sault College winning both games here on home ice. And let's give a shout out to number 2, Brody McLeod, who must have played 43, 44 minutes of today's game. And he was just a workhorse out there for the Sault College Cougars. Once again, the final score here at the Northern Community Center in Sault Ste. Marie, the Sault College Cougars 4 and the University of Marian, Wisconsin Sabres 3. Next action for the Sault College Cougars, Friday, January 23rd, as they travel to Montana State at the Wrestler Ice Rink For the entire Sault College Cougars hockey team, Griffin Sears, my name is Mike Armitage. Thanks very much for watching, and good afternoon from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.